Oh dear. I think ignorance is bliss. I love this letter of James. Now, I've gone and looked it up a little bit. I've also been to a place called Santiago de Compostela, which is in the northwest of Spain, and is a very well-known route of pilgrimage for Christians. And it transpires that the James in the letter of James is someone who may be known as James the Just, not James the son of Zebedee. And then I read on a bit, and it turns out that there's a Catholic body of thought, which is a Roman Catholic body of thought, that there was the virgin birth and that was the end of it. So Mary, the mother of Christ, a virgin birth, then had no more children. And then there are the evangelicals who argue. I know almost nothing about all this, so please don't quote me. Who then argue that Christ did have other, in the normal Jewish family, marrying children. That was the normal cultural, the norm for those times. So it is then argued that some of the other apostles were Christ's full brothers and sisters and so on. So there's definitely a distinction between James the Just, or I believe that is then James the Just may well be synonymous with James the Less. And then there's James the Great, who I think is synonymous with James, the son of Zebedee. This is why I do not wish to be a biblical scholar, okay? Because all it's done is rather, well, it hasn't destroyed my... I was fondly, when I went to Santiago de Compostela, I was in the fond opinion that James himself, the author of the letter of James, had physically walked and been at that place. Of this I'm almost certain, that he was martyred in Rome. I'm afraid I don't know again, but I'm almost certain that he was martyred. James, the author of the letter of James, was martyred, and that then is James the Less, or James the Just, as far as I can work it out. It doesn't matter to me, it doesn't matter all this scholarly stuff, and that people will argue to the nth degree about it and so on. What matters, the letter of James apparently was written in Greek, and James the Less, or James the Just, the possible author of it then, his native language was Aramaic, Christ's language, and therefore apparently the Greek, it's written in Greek, is too educated for him. And then someone else argues something else. Please, it's a beautiful letter. And I prefer to see such things and to hear such things. There's endless argument about the Gospels and this and that and that. I prefer to be with the woman, the Canaanite, or the centurion who believed. Was he the son of Jairus? Okay, my knowledge is distinctly patchy, but I almost deliberately keep it that way. I do not want to be a biblical scholar. And much, much more so for the Old Testament. It doesn't interest me. It is the strength of my faith that I have to offer the world. That's what matters. And then the Holy Spirit speaks directly to one. One doesn't need all that study.